Today is December 3rd, 2025. About a week ago was 6 months until my 39th birthday. I turned 39 in a little under 6 months. And I actually calculated this. There are 539 days until I turn 40. And for me, that 40 feels like it's going to be a symbolic birthday. And I've decided that I am going to spend the next 539 days doing my best to get to a place that I feel good in for 40. A few years ago, now I guess more than a few years ago now, I was 34. And I remember thinking that 36 stood out to me. 36 was going to be a big year for me. In my ignorance, I thought that 36 was going to be the year, I don't know, the year that I became whole, the year that it was going to be the year I rise. I don't know what I really thought 36 was going to be, but in my mind it was very symbolic, and it was an age that I was like, okay, just hold on. 36 is coming. 36 will be your year. 36 was the year that I fell. I did not rise. I fell. I fell to depths that I didn't actually know existed. And I've been in some pretty bad places before. I've experienced a lot. The 30s have been interesting for me. I won't say that they were bad, but 30s have been the decade that I guess decided to refine me through the fire. And I don't know if it's just because 40 is a milestone birthday. I don't know if it's because I had so much fear and anticipation about my 30s. I mean, I guess looking back, rightfully so, right? I guess I was afraid of it for different reasons, but I was right to be afraid of my 30s. But I don't know, 40 just feels different. I honestly think 40s is where I will rise. 40s is going to be something for me. I know I always cling to, they talk about in religion, like people who believe of all the things that were 40, and then 41 comes and things are better. And so I guess I'm looking forward to 40, because even if 40 is still hard, I feel like promise comes after 40. And I don't know, for some reason, I just actually feel at peace with 40 coming. I'm not trying to run away from it. I'm not really trying to do anything aside from arrive at 40 feeling more whole. Because right now in this season of life, I feel the most whole I've ever felt, and I also feel the most broken I've ever felt. And it's a very strange dynamic to feel such brokenness, but also be walking and feeling closer to wholeness than I've ever felt in my entire life. And I guess the beauty that I've learned with brains like mine is that I can hold two very conflicting truths at the same time. And so for me, I actually don't feel crazy anymore, that I feel more broken but more whole at the same time. And I guess I also have come to a point where I believe that sometimes wholeness comes from brokenness. And I feel so much less shame about my brokenness now than I used to. So, yeah, 539 days. It'll be here in a blink of an eye. And, I think the reason that I feel more close to wholeness is I don't have any plans to make myself over before 40, to become a new person before 40. I just want to take what is already here and be the most whole version of myself. And, this last few years, I think I finally come full circle. So I used to, for example, I had a deep resentment for the unhealed version of me. I am not fully healed, but I've done a lot of work on myself. But I was still so unhealed at that point where I would look at my protector self, and look at her in shame and be shameful of myself in so many ways. And then it would say the most awful things too, about how like I buried her, I exiled her, I got rid of her. And then I came to this point of realization that, like, how dare I say those things? How dare I say those things about somebody who only was ever trying to protect me? Was she messy? Yeah, she was messy. She was raw. She was unfiltered. But she just wanted to protect me. And now, instead of saying things like I buried her or I banished her or whatever awful version of I got rid of this person, I would come up with, now I have just made peace with her. And, you know, I spent a lot of time confused because I would think I was healed and then things would happen and I would almost like feel her rise up. And for a long time it was confusing. And now I've just realized that she is always going to be a part of me. And when she senses danger, she's going to come out to protect me. And all I have to do now is just reassure her that I've got it and she can rest. And I thank her for her vigilance, and I thank her for looking out for me, and I reassure her that I've got it and that she can just stay at peace. And with my body, my poor body, I have been so unkind to it. The things that I have done to myself since my early 20s are shameful. They are shameful. My body changed really rapidly in my early 20s. I don't know if it was the birth control I was on at the time. I don't know if it was working at a place that I was highly allergic to what I was working on with, and I was on antibiotics and steroids. I mean, it was just a perfect storm of things to happen to my body. And I started to do really terrible things to punish it. Like, I wouldn't eat. I would do these crazy, like, just crazy awful things to myself. And then I was just mean. I was mean. And I got really sick when my 9-year-old was little. And it kind of came to a head in 2020 where I got really sick. And then it subsided for a little while when I was pregnant with my littlest guy. And then when he was born, it reemerged. And it fully engulfed me, my autoimmune condition. And so I would say such awful things. My stupid body, my body is failing me. I'm broken. Like, I just had nothing good to say about myself. And I think I finally healed that relationship, where I realized that while my body might be tired, it might be sore, it might be struggling, it might, you know, my immune system for whatever reason beats on me. My body has never actually failed me. It's never stopped carrying what it needs to carry. It's never stopped carrying me. I have cared for my children successfully, not perfectly, but successfully, cared for all of their needs and the things that they want to do. And my body always showed up. It wasn't that my mind wanted to do things, but sorry, I can't get out of bed today. I have never stayed in bed, ever, because I hurt. I have never failed myself. My body never ended up failing me. It continued to carry me and the things that I had to carry, even though I treated it so poorly. And so now when I think, 539 days, I don't think about how much weight I can lose. I don't think about whether or not I can do anything out of vanity or hatred towards myself. But everything that I actually want to do is out of love. And I think the evolution of my relationship with myself is, for a little while, I got to the point where I thought that, like, loving and accepting myself just meant that I loved and accepted myself exactly as I am at all times. But I also now realize that there can be multiple truths in that I can love and accept myself as I am and still strive to feel better, to take care of myself. Like, I don't have to neglect myself to accept myself. I can care for myself while still accepting myself. And, my body is my soul's home. And when you walk into a house and you see it beautifully decorated and well cared for and maintained, You don't think about how this person must hate their home because they take care of it. They show that they love their home by taking care of it. And that is how I am now going to look at what I do going forward, that I am going to take care of my home because I love my home and I cherish it. And you take care of the things that you love and cherish. So what am I going to do over the next 539 days? I don't know. I know that I would like to get back to a place of feeling better. I would like to get back to a place of, taking care of myself the way that I should. I'd like to switch from survival to not even just thriving, but thriving would be nice. It would be ideal. But my goal right now is just to simply shift out of survival mode and into living. And, do I hope during this that things like weight loss happen? Yes, that would be nice. I'm 5 feet tall. I do not have a lot of extra to carry extra with me that I don't need. But that is not going to be what my success hinges on, is what I get the scale to. Because I know that I could drastically reduce my weight and still be very broken and unhealthy. So healthy and not broken is the goal. I kind of picked up my faith again a few years ago. I've always had faith, but it looked different than it does now. And that's okay. It's actually been a beautiful process that has made me feel more secure than I ever used to, despite the fact that my circumstances are still very hard. I would like to do so many things, but really the goal is just to love and cherish myself. And does that mean things that might sound silly? Sure. One of the goals that I have is to actually do my skincare routinely. And not for vanity, just because I want to teach myself that it can trust me to show up. I want to do things like, before I grab another cup of coffee, actually stop and think, am I really just hungry? Am I low energy because it's 2 o'clock and I haven't eaten? Do I want a cup of coffee, or do I actually need a cup of water? Am I feeling calm and my nervous system is so used to chaos that it's looking for liquid stress to just bring me back up to what I'm used to, So, I think I want to teach myself, as much as I've taught others, that I will show up. And right now I'm grasping onto things like going to take a walk, putting some moisturizer on, actually drinking some water. I filled this thing this morning. I even sipped it. Not once. And I think I want to teach myself that I can show up for myself. I think one of the things that I fell into was kind of the martyrdom, that I am a loving wife and mother and community person and friend, and so therefore I need to completely sacrifice myself to prove that I love others. And again, this is one of those things where I realize that I can hold dueling truths, that I do sacrifice myself and my time, and I give and I give and I give. And I love that about myself. I also realize that because I want to love these people well, I do actually have to show up for myself a little bit. That way I am giving to them not from obligation only and resentment and look what I gave you, and all of the ugly things that sometimes can happen when you keep giving when you're spent. But I can give from love and abundance, and that, because you can feel it, I feel like you can always feel what someone's giving you from. And I never want to put anyone else in the position where what I give them feels bad, because it is very obviously not what I want to be doing, if that makes sense. So I plan to document my next my next 539 days. Will I do it perfectly? Probably not. Consistency is not my strong suit for anything but my children. I'm working on that. I feel like if there is anything that you can count on me for, it's not being consistent with anything except for my little humans. And you can definitely count on me to show up late for almost everything. That's kind of my bandwidth right now, but I'm looking to expand it. And I haven't actually figured out the structure of how I'm going to kind of document what I'm doing, but I'm not going to worry about that yet, because if I wait until I know exactly what I'm going to do, then I will do nothing, and it will be 50 before you know it, and I won't have done anything. So this ramble ended up a little longer than I planned, which is very much par for the course with me. But yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of excited and at peace with it. And I really never thought I'd get to the point where I was at peace with a milestone birthday. But this time I am. And I'm very much looking forward to continuing to turn my brokenness into something good. 30 was my fall. I am just... The 30s were my fall. 36 was the year that broke me. But amazing things can come out of brokenness, and that's what I'm going to hold on to.